To do that to yourself. Welcome back. More and more companies investing in natural gas exploration projects on the U.S. Mainland. Nick Atencio runs Mainland Resources, which has projects in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas, and it's great to see you. This is the wealth of the United States. This is what we really can service independently our own energy needs with natural gas. Huh?
Absolutely, and first of all, thank you for the opportunity to share a message.
Yeah. How do we do it though? I mean, it's hard to move around. It's hard to transport. It's that we don't really have the infrastructure to power vehicles yet, but that's part of the Pickens plan, right? Well,
our industry is progressing the technology, and we're seeing more and more opportunities for natural gas in the United States. It is, in some cases, a regional commodity, but the industry is adapting. I mean, we're seeing quite a bit of opportunities for natural gas in the U.S.
Do you feel like the government, when it talks about renewable energy or alternative energy and the new society that the administration envisions, do you feel like natural gas gets a short shrift?
Well, I think it gets a fair. I think it gets
because it actually might work. I mean, solar and wind are so far off.
I mean, to some extent they're viable, but natural gas is here. Natural gas we know how to extract.
Cheap.
Natural gas is part of the industry, and it's clean. It's a clean burning fuel.
What's the downside? Well, I don't understand. Is it climate change? Is that what holds people back? Because it's still a hydrocarbon, although it's much cleaner than...
Concerns about fracking, right?
I guess fracking. I wasn't going to curse on air, but is that that's an English term for? Didn't Austin Powers say fragadelic? Or,
shagadelic.
Oh, that's shagging. Yeah. Fragging is what's fragging? There's a fracking. What's fracking?
Fracking is introducing fluids and proppants into a formation, specifically the Haynesville, where our focus is,
right.
In the Haynesville. You introduce fluids and proppants actually to open up a fracture, maintain a fracture open in formations that are too tight to produce at commercial rates naturally. It's a technique that the industry's had for a number of years.
I mean, even Rendell is okay with it, right? Basically, as long as it's...
Well, and again, this is a service provided by the service companies in the industry. They've got to provide a good...
I mean, there's a new film that's out that takes shots at fracking that says you can turn water on fire by doing it. Is there any legitimacy to any of these claims?
Well, and I can't speak to the background of and the motivation and agenda around that specific.
But is it true? Is it an environmental concern or not?
It shouldn't be. The technology doesn't allow for it. For example, for Mainland, we're drilling at 18,000 feet, 20,000 feet. The freshwater formations are up much shallower than that. In between the freshwater formations and where we are, 2,000, 3,000, are a number of barriers, casing barriers, cement barriers. We design these fracks. The industry knows how to model these fracks. We know where these fracks are going. So, I can't speak to what has happened and how people have executed, but, we know how to do these.
But you probably would acknowledge that even just from a perception standpoint, the BP fiasco has made people doubt the industry's ability to manage their science, right?
Well,
for better or worse.
Doing good, thinking about safety, thinking about your customers. Our customers are the leaseholders. We need to make sure these people, we don't change their quality of life. We look at safety. We look at these things. This is a science. This is a technology. And yes, if you're not looking at those kinds of things, if you're not looking at safety, if you're not looking at really doing your homework on your business, then you're getting your customers angry, and that's just bad business.
Sure. As BP has proven.
Right.
Is there any pending legislation that some type of adverse environmental accident could spawn, or could at least increase the likelihood of passage? I mean, is there something ready to go?
I'm really not aware. I don't know. At this moment, I don't know.
The only thing that you're really dealing with is the price of natural gas, I guess, and that's
quite a bit lower.
That's because of the recession?
Yeah, well, for us, for Mainland, the price of natural gas we can affect to a great extent. So what we do is we need to look how can we affect our margin? Well, we affect our margin with our cost structure. We entered into the Haynesville in northwest Louisiana early, and we got land prices, leasing at a very low price before, $200, $400 an acre before it went up to $30,000 an acre. So we went in quickly. We developed a really nice Haynesville field in northwest Louisiana. we took that learning curve straight to Mississippi. We now have a really, really exciting prospect in Mississippi that has an extended Haynesville section. We're drilling it right now, and it's offset to a well that drilled a thick Haynesville section that has evidence of gas in the Haynesville. So, you know, we're taking our thought process and our experience to that point. But when you look at what we can do is try to improve our margin.
Yeah.
How you do that? You reduce your cost. You get in early. You get a low cost basis. Whatever the price is, it is. But we're going to make sure we optimize our margins.
And it's a domestic, something we control, not something that we're selling.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Nick, thank you. Appreciate your time today.
All right. Well, thank you.
Coming up this morning, are you addicted to social media?